Hello.
Hi, Fiction.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, your audio is actually super clear.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool. Alright, let's just jump right in with a quick introduction. Just like your tag, where you're from, how long you've been playing, and your goals for Melee.
Uh, I just go by Ricky. I just use whatever tag I used that day or whatever. So
Okay.
you can just call me Ricky.
Okay. Would
From
you what would you like the YouTube title to be like? Because I put you as like
Rubedo's fine.
Rubedo.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. All right.
yeah, that's fine. Um, I'm from Miami, but I lived in Oklahoma and Boston, and now I'm back in Miami. And my main goal is as of right now, to stop every single Falcon, Falco, Puff, literally any character that I play on unranked. At the moment I beat them with Sheik, they immediately switch to Fox and try to curb stomp me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, Fox has like a lot of the easy mode, like execution tests and stuff on Sheik, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah, I can imagine that is rather annoying, yeah. Like just having a character that everybody feels like, oh, this character's so free against your character, you know? Like, and then everybody picks it. Like, I've been playing a bunch of Sheik on ranks, so I definitely feel it. Like, everybody plays Fox against Sheik, like, it's impossible to lose and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, to answer the other question, I've been playing Smash competitively since 2014, 15, I'd say. I started with Smash 4, then transitioned to Ultimate when it came out, but then I realized that Ultimate sucks, and I played Melee
Alright, good,
instead.
good, good. You're a thinker. You're a big thinker.
You can blame Gibbs for that.
Okay. For getting you onto Melee.
Yeah, he was
I
like,
see.
play
Let's go,
this game with
Gibbs.
me.
Let's go, Gibbs. Haven't talked with him in a bit, but I hope he's doing well.
Yeah, he's watching the lesson right now, I think.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay, so the screen share is working, right?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, so let's see. What do you have any thoughts ahead of time? Like, so you said you feel like they just kind of like run you over, right?
Well, I watched one of your lessons that you had on YouTube, one of the sheiks that you were talking about, and you mentioned that okay, so here's the thing. Coming from Smash 4 and Ultimate, my mentality that was beat into me was do the same thing over and over. If it works, keep doing it. Like
Mm-hmm.
because there's not really much else you can do in these
Mm-hmm.
games. So if it works, just keep doing it. And something that was very helpful from the lesson that I saw from you that made my entire game plan with Fox suddenly make a lot of sense is you were like, "Hey, why don't you just back air in place?"
Mm-hmm.
What if you just back her in place? Suddenly Fox can't do the stuff that he wants to do.
Right.
And when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is the exact thing I was looking for. The stupid thing that you can just spam. Well, not totally spam because it's melee,
Kind
obviously.
of.
But that you can just basically it just tells Fox, no, you have to play neutral.
Yeah, exactly.
So before I watched that video, I was just like like I knew that I should back air, but I was like I also kind of have a problem with like going fast in this game because there's so many like little tiny technical things, and so I'm not as great with wave dashing and platform stuff at totally yet. So obviously I actually feel very comfortable on FD versus other stages because I'm not that great on platforms right now, but I
Mm-hmm.
still get railroaded by foxes that know even a slight bit of what to do.
Okay.
So
Interestingly enough, Duck actually feels like his Sheik still does better on FD against Fox. And I think it's just because they can't, like, they're forced to interact with you. And I think that in some sense does help a little bit despite, like, the juggling problems.
and also coming from Smash 4 and Ultimate, because I had to play neutral all the time, I feel comfortable when I can play neutral against someone and they just can't run away on the platforms and just do whatever the hell they want.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, well,
So,
I'm glad you have, like, I'm glad you already, like, saw and kind of, like, internalized that back air. Because when you were saying you were getting run over, I was like, oh, I wonder if he does the back air, you know? So I'm glad that you at least, like, encountered the back air before.
I also saw another video where you did a lesson with a Marth, and Gibbs and I pretty much died laughing when you said, yeah, I just think of Sheik as one giant forward tail.
One giant forward tilt?
Yes.
That's
You said, like, yeah,
funny.
just think of Sheik as one big forward tilt.
Kind Kind of.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Except for backer.
Yeah, backer's great.
Backer's like the only non-forward tilt move she has.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just get into it and look at this a little bit. Okay, so so the beginning of every stock is the most crucial thing for Sheik, like getting the opponent out of those low percents. She's even more significant in this than like Falco in a lot of cases. Like Falco, I always tell people like you got to hit a few lasers before you like really start something. And Sheik is really similar, where like Fox at 0 is almost immortal, and Fox at like 25 or 30 is almost too easy to kill sometimes. And so like Sheik is actually crazy good against Fox to the point where like she almost wins in a lot of spots, maybe when Fox is around like 50, like 30 to 70 range, because you know you get like pretty free combos off of like dash attack and up tilt into, you know, whatever you want into like fair or something like that, or back air gimps and stuff. So she's really good at these mid percents. It's the lower percents that are really hard for her. And so every stock, when it begins, you have to put like maximum energy into like dealing damage to Fox. Like there's not really any opening you can get where you're just like, I don't even need the damage, you know, because even when you get your tech chases at 0, which is like one of her pretty much only moves that really works at 0, outside of, you know, maybe up tilt at 0 into a grab, it's like you need to do like 3 or 4 of these really difficult tech chases, you know, at 0 or like between 0 to like 10 or 0 to 20 even. Like Sheik's tech chase on Fox is basically unreliable unless you spend like years on it. Like it's just really difficult because he can't ambiguous DI, and there's different responses with pivots and stuff and wave dashing at like slightly different percents, and I don't really know all the details. Spark is really like the guy who knows all the details of it. All I know is that it's really, really hard. Like, really hard.
At least with these lower level Foxes that I've been dealing with, I feel like what ends up happening is that if I feel like my neutral game is going well with the Fox, when I get the grab, I feel far more comfortable doing the tech chase. But if everything is going wrong with the Fox, even if I get the grab, I'm like, I can't concentrate. I'm like, no, I can't do it, because like I can't just clear my mind and go, I have the grab. Suddenly I have the advantage.
Yeah, definitely. And the transition between, so a lot of times, and I think that's because like the transition between like neutral brain and punish brain is like always difficult. Like that's just like a difficult skill for every player. And so when you're, and this is a supernatural experience that like that happens to pretty much everybody who plays, is like, oh, like I super blanked out. Let's see. I was looking at the screen, started thinking about Sheik Fox. I was saying your experience with, what was the thing I just said? My bad.
You were talking about I think I forgot too.
Dude, I don't know why I blanked out. I was just...
I blanked out as well. I don't know
why.
I
don't know how I blanked out. I'm sitting here. I'm totally zoned in.
The difference between tech brain and neutral brain?
Yeah. And just the fact that, like, if you're playing somebody way worse than you, you don't have to think about neutral game nearly as much. And so you can kind of be in this, like, tech chase zone the entire time and just wait for when you get the grab. And then when you get it, you're like, well, I'm already in tech chase mode, so it's easy for me to, you know, keep going.
Yeah, it's similar to how I feel my strongest stage against Marth is actually FD, because now I don't have to worry about the platforms, which I'm not as good at, and I can just play neutral, which is what I've spent years playing Smash 4
Right,
Ultimate.
like it doesn't take as much mental effort to focus on the neutral, and you can focus more on like hitting and stuff like that. Yeah. So that is not really like a problem to fix. That's just something that'll get better as you get better. And you sort of want to just slowly train up something kind of like a switch, you know, like if you're running for intervals or something like that, you know, you have like your rest period where you're just like trying really hard to like rest up, and then as soon as it's time to go, then you're like go like as hard as you can. And there's just sort of like this switch when like you hear the signal to go in like a race or something, And that's what you sort of need to like train, where like you're playing neutral and you're very neutral oriented and you get the grab and you have to be like, you know, it's almost like a slap in the face, like this sort of like shock of like, I have the grab, one player game, you know, and like focusing in on that. It's just literally like a skill that takes like a while to master.
The funny part about the Fox matchup, I feel, is that because Gibbs mains Falco, and I have a lot of like that sort of Falco experience from the same level of that I have, it feels like the Fox and Falco matchup they're like different, they're like mirror flop versions of each other to some degree, because Falco feels easier to kill, but at the same time feels like if the Falco so the way that he described it and the way that I think you described it one time is that if the Falco doesn't want you to touch him, you can't touch him.
Pretty much.
But like if you do touch the Falco, then he's dead because he has a worse recovery than Fox. But then also Falco potentially has a stronger combo game on Sheik versus Fox sometimes. But so it feels like they're like extreme. Falco is like almost an extreme version of Fox sometimes. But this is the one that I want to get down because Fox is the most common character, or maybe Falco at this point. I don't even know anymore. And I just hate, like, nothing irritates me more than playing unranked and I'm grinding with like of Jigs or a Mark who I don't care about playing, and we play 2 matches and they get pissed off and they're like, Fox, and it's like, but why?
Yeah. Well, once you become a Fox Slayer, they'll stop doing that. So you just got to get a little bit better at it. Let's look through. So the thing I was mentioning is that like the percent is so important at the beginning that on a stage like FD where we start out pretty far away, I am pretty much always starting the game with some form of like needle. Like
really?
Whether charging or jumping and charging or something, like, because every needle of damage, think of it the same way I was describing Falco Laser, like every needle of damage gets Fox closer to knockdown percent.
Oh yeah. I think you'll see it throughout my. This is what I call my bad neutral. A lot of my neutral interactions, they might show up in these VODs. Is my favorite thing to do is to run up, potentially short hop if I don't miss it, charge needles or turn around charge needles. I love jumping charge needles because I feel like I have control of like, oh, I can do stuff and I have needles and I'm charging them. And
yeah, it gives you like a pressure situation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
no,
in this
definitely.
particular situation, I'm kind of scared to charge needles against Fox right here because, like, what if they just start shooting lasers?
Then you throw your
what if they
needles.
That is true, yeah.
The only thing that you need to be afraid of is Fox like running in at you, and like sometimes I'll do this thing with Fox where I run in and they charge needles and then I full hop and then they throw them under me and then I get like a drill grab or something. But as long as you don't fall for that, it's like you can just do like charge a bunch of needles and then he runs kind of close like this and you just wave dash back and then throw them. Like you're gonna be safe and you're gonna maybe pick up some percent. And it's the same with like the jumping needle. Like you just have enough space to literally full hop and charge a bunch of needles and then throw him at the ground and maybe hit him if he tries to rush you. So I just want to emphasize that like the percent is super important. You want to get as many needles as you can, and when you hit your aerials, it's okay to hit stray aerials at low percent. You don't need, like, it's okay to basically hit that.
It's very actually nice to hear that you how encouraging you are with needles, because I love being a needle degenerate.
Yeah, no, my Sheik is, like, I play Sheik like I play Falco. I just, like, I'll do, like, a thing where I'm, like, full hop to the side plat, charge needles, like, while I'm in the air, you know, and then I throw them, and then I charge on the platform, and then I drop down, and I full hop again, and I throw them, like, and a lot of times, you know, people will run into the needles on the ground and stuff like that. I think that, like, that is... Like, the needles on the ground and the needles in general are what, like, boost Sheik from, like, a really good character to, like, top-tier character.
Yeah,
so,
I saw the J-Mook thing where he baits Zane to forward air. Like, it's on the final set that he...
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Sheiks have been doing that for a really long time. But it's super good. And it, like, Marth's sword is so big that he has, like... He's just going to end up hitting every needle that's there. And, like, half the time he just stalls out in his moves, and it's way easier to hit him. And a lot of times Fox is similar where, like... And Falco, where, like, if you jump up and you throw a bunch of needles on the ground, he doesn't really want to do aerials in that area anymore. Because he might run into a needle and get grabbed. So, like, the needles have, like, this dual purpose of, like, sometimes they remain on the ground and possibly trick my opponent into giving me something. You know, and you don't hit your own needles, so you don't even need to worry about them. I don't even usually play too hard around the needles against Fox, because he's so fast. I just kind of chuck him a lot of times, and then sometimes he runs into him and I get a free opening. But the needles are just really important, and yeah, you're looking for the stray arrows, perfect. So now we have Fox to 30, which is kind of, you know, like, oh, like that's like the perfect zone for Sheik, is like now everything just insta-kills him. So like, yeah, I think the dash attack is okay here because you're like, he's at 30, like, time to win the game, you know? It's not that awful, but like, you could have played it a little safer. I think a lot of times, like, you sort of want to establish... So, okay, so here's the thing. Sheik is never going for Fox. If you chase Fox ever, you will lose.
Yeah,
and
she's a defensive character, not necessarily an offensive character.
She's really bad at offense. Really bad. Especially against Fox. And she's pretty good at it against Marth, you know, but she's bad against Fox. And so, like, you don't really...
That's part of the problem, I feel like, on unranked. Like, I'm not trying to play disrespectfully against the unranked people. I'm just trying to play the way I feel is playing to Sheik's strength. And that's where I feel like sometimes these people get mad. Like, I don't know. I can't tell because it's unranked, but I get, like, they get mad at me. It's like, stop playing Sheik this way. It's like, this is the only way I know how to play her.
Yeah. So, you have to enjoy people getting mad at you for how you play. That's if you're trying to get better at any game, that's just the truth. Like, the more you do good things, the more people are gonna be mad. Like, people complain about me lasering them, you know, people complain about Fox's full hop. It's like, why? Because those things are good, you know? Like, people complain about down throw, down tilt. Like, why? It's like, well, it wins sets. It's like, down tilt's not even that good. It's just people don't like it when stuff beats them, so they complain about it, or they get mad.
Down throw with Falco?
Yeah, like Marth on Spacey, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like I'm just so used to just being like, everybody knows down throw, but not necessarily a Sheik main. But yeah, basically, like, there's just all these things that people like to complain about, and it's because they're really good. People complain about puff camping. Why? It's really good. Yeah. And so, like, you want to play in a way that makes your opponent put down the controller and go get a life. Like, that is your goal. You want them to be like, it is not worth it to put in the amount of effort I would need to crack open this Sheik. That is like the mentality you need to take. And because if you play in a way where it's fun for them, it's fun for them because they're winning, you know? Yeah. Like, you want them to be miserable. And I love making people miserable in this game. Like, I try to be nice in real life, but then in the game, this is your time to just kind of like, you know, you tried to get in on me and I needled and then I backed up and they're like, Urgh. And then they try to get in again and then you cross them up and then you go to the other side, you needle them again and they're like, oh, I keep taking needle damage, you know, or like, sometimes against Marth, you can, like, camp the ledge, and then he'll and then he backs off to, like, fine, you know, just get up from the ledge. I don't even care anymore. And you just get up and needle, and then you go back to the ledge, and he's just, and it's like, that's what you want. Anytime something like that. Yeah.
Someone quit out on me when I did that.
Yeah. Anytime something like that comes up, just be like, I got him. Like, I'm learning. Like, that's good. It's good. It's good to feel like that. I would say there's certain cases, maybe like if you're down like 2 stocks and you're doing that to a Marth, that's kind of BM, you know, because like you need, like, they can just literally camp the other ledge and you would never get anything out of it. So there's like a level to it where you're like, okay, you tried Shino stalling for 8 minutes and that was kind of messed up, you know, but like, oh, they're mad that I'm playing careful, you know, like, dude, like, that just means you're beating them. So don't let that throw you off. If anything, consider like your opponent getting irritated at the way you play. Generally good. If it's like a really good player, maybe listen to them because they might be irritated because you're like, I don't know, forcing something that doesn't work, or you're playing really like ignorantly somewhere or something. But like these people on unranked, like especially if you're beating them and then they seem to get mad, like no, just take that. That's a badge of honor. It's good to needle people. It's good to camp them, you know? Like, this is melee we're talking about here.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to get into with this dash attack really quick is that, like, so the way you want to play is... Okay, so you actually did this really well, where instead of attacking Fox, you want to hold him out. Like, basically, Fox is in your front yard, and your goal is not to, like, run out your door at Fox, because that gives up, like, the strength of having, like, a defensive position, of having, like, a house. What you want is every time Fox is trying to get into the house, you just, you're locking stuff, you're barricading stuff. Nope, not this way. Nope, not this way. And then he kind of gets into this, like, he gets lulled into this sense of, like, what's my job? It's like, I look for open windows, and the Sheik closes them, And then he goes up to the next window, and now you're getting kind of, like, lazy about checking these windows. You're not even, like, thinking about the fact that I could, dive out the window and grab you. And so, like, that's kind of the idea, is you want to use these, like, back airs like you're doing. This is really good. And Fox is kind of getting put in this position where he wants to get in, but you're not letting him. Like, nope. And he's like, okay, I'll try it again. Nope. And you get him. And so this is now a situation where Fox is like, how do I get in here? And he doesn't really want to go in immediately anymore, because every time he tries it, you push him away. And so what it ends up creating is a neutral situation where Fox is dash dancing here, like very passively. He sort of gives up on the approach, and you can feel it, where they're like, okay, fine, I'll wait a second before going in. And they'll dash dance about right here. And what they're waiting for here is they're waiting for, like, an early back air. Like, you whiff the early back air, and then maybe they run under an up smash, or they run under and shine, or something like that. That's what they want. And so your job in those situations is to keep late back airing until you feel he's passive enough, and then boost grab.
Zoom right on in?
Huh?
Just zoom right on.
Basically, this exact dash attack you did is good, except the Fox hadn't entered his, like, passive mode. He was waiting here for you to counterattack him. So, like, this was, like, an approach. This was too much of, like, an approach on your end, and less of, like, you defended 5 times into, like, a secret crazy attack. Like, you basically, if you just defended 2 more times, this dash attack would have been really good, because he would have been a little bit more, like, trying to space around your aerials. Does that make sense? Like, you want to trick him into spacing around your back air, and then once he's spacing around the back air, you can just boost grab him. And that's basically, like, Sheik's major, like, defense against Fox. And so you want to use the boost grab a lot more than the dash attack, because the dash attack is kind of bad. Like, it has the, like, the hitbox is, like, way behind her, and, like, if they, like, Fox can literally, like, CC this or, like, tech this when he's on the ground in a lot of cases. So it's like dash attack is more like an aerial combo move. You forward tilt at 50, they DI away or something, and you get the dash attack, or dash attack into dash attack. So basically just the same option's not bad, but replace it with boost grab, and maybe try, like, waiting.
I think the reason I'm scared to boost grab, I think the reason I'm scared to boost grab is, which is funny because dash attack also has a lot of end lag, but, like, like, when you miss the boost grab and Sheik is, like, eating her lunch and then putting it away, and then, she's in that lag, it, like, I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna get shined and up smash, and then I'm gonna die.
Yeah, that is the risk. And that's why usually you just want to sit there walling back air. And the boost grab is when Fox is, like, dash dancing too passively.
Okay.
So notice that he hasn't, like, in none of these positions has he entered the passive stage yet. He's still trying to hit you. And so there's not really an opportunity to approach. And so I think you're doing a good job here of, like, trying to wall him out. You really don't want a full hop back air, though.
It's so hard.
It's because you're missing the input.
Yeah, I try really hard, and that's the thing. When I'm, like, I can practice it, and I can hit, like, 5 short hops, and then, like, 6 or 7 in a row. The moment I suddenly get into a game, it's like it's all gone.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm trying to get better at that.
That's fine. One thing is that, like, practicing alone and practicing in a game, or, like, under pressure from your opponent, are just 2 wildly different things. And so, like, something you might want to do is just get in a game with a Fox and literally just practice short hopping, and just, like, let them 4-stock you, basically, and just be like, short hop, back air, short hop, back air, and just kind of practice it in a real game. And I think that might help.
Understood.
Okay, but yeah, you want to do... First of all, you want to do a backflip short hop. Do you know about backflip short hop?
Yeah, her backflip's broken.
Yeah, so you definitely want to backflip, and then you do late back air. Or if you think he's going to full hop approach or short hop approach, a lot of times the early back air is good. And I want to see a little bit more dash dancing. You haven't dash danced really at all yet. And the dash dance is kind of crucial because remember, like, Fox can't react to your boost grab or your dash attack. He's never going to be able to react to either of those moves. He's reacting to you dashing towards him at a range where he could get boost grabbed. So, or dash attack. So a lot of times, like, when you're in, like, a position... Oops, I went too far back. When you're in, like, a position like this or whatever, instead of attacking into this, if you just dashed back, you can get a punish here pretty safely. Or, like, in a position like this, if you dash in here and then dash away... Like, dash in, dash away, backflip, back air is so good. And I can go into Dolphin in a second and show you what I mean. But basically, dash dance a little bit more. Overall, I like your, like, generally defensive mentality here. So that's good. Okay, missed the tech chase, it's fine. Okay, missing the combo a little bit, but not too bad. Gotta be careful holding shield for this long. Like, I know a lot of Foxes just spam, like, attack moves, but there are just as many Foxes that love spamming grab. You're way better off just, like, back rolling or shield wave dashing and stuff like that. Or even just, like, crouching. A lot of times you're better off than, like, showing the shield. Okay. Okay. I do like that you're back airing a lot. That's really good. You got the backflip there, so that's good. Okay, good. See, this is what you could have done at the beginning of the game. With these needles, you can kind of do this game and then, like, get these needles off when he's at 0. And even though, you know, you obviously had a full charge here, but what I mean is, like, at 0, maybe you charge 3 needles, and then you do this exact neutral sequence, and then you hit him with 3 needles, you know, and then you're like, oh, nice, you know? Like, that's good damage.
I feel like if I ever get, like, a full stack on someone, that's like, hey, I won this stock. They're demoralized now.
Yeah, and, like, you want to, like, when the stock starts, you want the Fox to know, like, by the way, I'm really going to try to hit you with a full stack of needles. And it'll change the way the Fox plays because, like, otherwise, like, if you're in this position, let's say you don't have needle charge and you're just jumping like this is a completely even position. Like, you haven't gained anything or given anything up. You're full hopping and he's dash dancing. But because you have needles, this full hop and this movement here is actually, like, convincing him to, like, stay here dash dancing, and you get these, like, unreactable needles pretty much. So it's just like the needles are the crucial way you kind of, like, break the totally even sort of unsolvable neutral where, like, nothing is happening. That's when you're like, it's needle time. And that's kind of like where she gets value, because otherwise every time you're far away, Fox just starts lasering. But if every time you're far away, he tries to laser and takes double the damage in needles, you know, that's pretty good. And also, Fox lasering you kind of doesn't mean that much. It feels really, 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 really bad. Like, it feels horrible to get double lasered by Fox and stuff like that, but ultimately, he's giving you full control of the stage for damage that is completely negligible. For you, the low percents are super important. But for Fox, like, drill, wave, shine, grab, up throw, up air, or they're like, oh, never mind, I hit a ton of lasers, so Sheik's at 20 instead. Drill, wave, shine, grab, up throw, up air. Like, you know, like, it's like the same exact situation no matter what percent you're really at. And Fox can kind of kill you out of any percent anyway. And so, like, the lasers that he lands on you are not as important as the needles you land on him. Like, I would say that if Fox lasered you from 0 to 50, and you needled him from 0 to 30 during the same period, that would be, like, a plus for you. Because you got stronger from taking Fox from... Like, Sheik got better against Fox from 0 to 30 than Fox did against Sheik going from 0 to 50.
I think, well, not just you, but I think others have said this, that like if Sheik basically was able to knock Fox down at like 0, that this would be a much different matchup,
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah, because like the difficult part of the matchup is not like post 30, 40, whatever. Sometimes it's high percent too. She struggles to kill it very high percent, and she struggles to get things started at very low percent, and she's just like a beast in the middle.
Oh
And
yeah.
so like, you know, you don't let them get to very high percent because you combo into an edge guard or a kill with like fair or something or a back air gimp, and
Yeah.
you don't let them interact really too much with you at 0 because you get your stray aerials and you get your camping needles and stuff like that. And like your goal, because clearly Fox wins this matchup, right? Like everybody knows Fox wins this matchup. But like the reason for that is those first 30%. And so if you do a really good job of getting on that early damage to Fox, the matchup is really not that bad. As you were saying,
Yeah,
like if she could knock him down early, yeah, it's really like that is the big deal. Is that, well, it's the knockdown and the fact that down throw gets so much better at higher percent because you have time to like wave dash to avoid the ambiguity and stuff like that.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, dash attack too early here. All of her moves are worthless, like pre-30. But now you're like 27. Let's go. You knock him down, and then it's like, all right, now big things are happening, and suddenly this matchup doesn't feel that bad because you can hit him. See, look, you could like if you were like tech chasing really well. Like I don't know, like obviously I give this advice to every Sheik. You want to spend a lot of time tech chasing an Uncle Punch with like random text, like
Yeah.
a lot. Like it's the most game-changing thing you can do against spacies. Like, let's say you didn't do the back air, and you didn't know what a down smash was, and you had no idea how to space, like, down tilt or up tilt or anything like that, but you could tech chase really well. You would do better than if you had all of those things. So it's kind of like tech chasing is like the biggest space taker in this matchup. If you looked at like a diagram of what's important in the matchup, tech chasing is like the biggest one, because technically you can get a grab at 0 and then tech chase them. It's just really, really insanely, stupidly hard. And so like the tech chase is the most important thing. And I would say like what I would like you to do is maybe start the tech chase at like 25 or 30, not start it from 0 in Uncle Punch. Like start it from a percent that you're realistically going to be like kind of wanting the grab in the match, and then like just grind it out because like and it's off of obviously it's off of the off of the grab that you're going to be reacting to all of these things. But in the match, this forward tilt and they land like this is low-key just a down throw tech chase. Like
Yeah.
here, this is it's basically as if you just down threw him. So if you're just like, every time I down throw Fox around 30, look at 33, every time I down throw Fox around 30, I'm insane at tech chasing and I can kill off these combos. Then like every forward tilt, every dash attack, everything and another one's coming up. So like you missed this because you weren't super ready for it, and you still get the thing. But imagine if you get these every time, it's a big difference. So then you get this, which is like literally another kill attempt because you could tech chase this to death. But let's ignore that. And let's say, you're playing neutral, whatever, and you get this forward air. Oh, it's like, well, Fox is at mid percent. So forward air knocks down, and it's like, well, what is this? But another tech chase, And you can literally reaction tech chase this just like you would a down throw. And so, like, once these knockdowns come into play, it's about, like, this is what it's all about, It's like damage building phase, and if you can get a grab during the damage building phase, I still recommend it, but it's not something you want to be hunting for, like, too much. Face Roll made a career out of just running across the stage at the beginning and grabbing people, but it's because he's a little bit of, like, a freak who can, chain grab people or, like, tech chase people from 0, like, almost every time. So it's like if you have that kind of, practice plus genetic ability plus age and all these factors to be able to tech chase from 0, then yeah, sure. But, that's not how my Sheik can do it. I can't tech chase from 0. So, like, there's the damage building phase and then, like, the combo / tech chase phase. And, like, that is really all it is like you just want to get under the damage and then make these tech chases super effective because every move, the forward tilt, the forward air, like this forward air, can lead to death. If you just dash attack him here and he pops up, and then you jump up and you fair, and then you get like a back air edge guard or something like that, you know, or anything here. There's so many ways you can possibly kill Fox here. It's like, you know, his stocks drop really fast, and then you're going to be up 4-2. And yeah, like once again, like dash attack is just not that good of a move. You want to be much more defensive. Like if you did the classic back air
specifically in this matchup, or just in general.
In general, honestly.
You really?
Dash attack.
You don't think Sheik's dash attack that good?
No, it's pretty bad. Do you know what the hitbox looks like on Sheik's dash attack?
Yeah, it looks weird. It looks like it doesn't come out in front of her.
It's behind her. Yeah, it loses to like every move in the game. It loses or clinks with every move in the game, but almost every move will just hit her out of it, and like, it's just not that good because remember, if Fox CCs it or he DIs really hard away, a lot of times you can't get anything. Whereas if you boost grab, it's roughly the same risk. Honestly, it's probably a little bit of less risk. I think the grab might be quicker than the dash
so
attack.
much better, right?
Huh?
Because the reward is so much better from the grab.
And the reward is so much better. You just get so much more control. And if you're comfortable with your tech chases, then like that's really what you want. And then so like think about it right here, instead of this dash attack, what if you just did a bear? You know, what if this was a short hop bear? You would have hit him out of this nair, and then maybe he pops up, maybe you get a tech chase, maybe you get an advantage position, you know? And then same here, back air right there.
I think I was trying to back air and it just didn't come out.
Okay, that's fine. It looked like a back air, so that's why I was like, huh. Yeah, so back air right there, it's fine. Okay. Don't use your double jump, like, if you can. Like, it's way better to, like, literally just, like, fall and then, like, nair or something and let him hit you with the back air and then, like, fall off stage and then, like, double jump and you get your whole, like, recovery mix-up. Double jumping high like this is, like, you didn't avoid any of his options by jumping high. Like, jumping here didn't avoid any of his options, and you now have no double jump. So if he happens to hit you, like, let's say he just nairs you here or something, you don't have a double jump, you're dead. He nairs you, you're at, like, 87 or something, 88, and you go off stage, you up B, get up, shine, wave, shine, up, smash. Whereas if you fall on him with, like, a nair, or, like, you try to do a tricky drift into a back air, and you don't use your double jump, and he back airs you, you go, like, right here, and you still have your double jump, and you still have all your options. It's really rough getting down with Sheik, so you want to save your double jump. Like, it's better to get hit than to lose your double jump. Unless it's going to literally kill you. Okay, good back airs. Okay. Okay, I don't like these needles here unless you followed it up with something like needle down smash here is fine, or needle like down tilt or something. You don't really want a needle grab, obviously, because he's near the edge. So I like a lot more like a fair here, like just like a low fair or nair. Yep, there you go. You just won neutral. Sheik's dash attack is kind of incredible when like you know it's gonna hit and they're at a high enough percent. Like grab is not any, like dash attack is literally like has higher reward than grab at these percents, right? Like at like 90, like what are you gonna do out of the grab? And it's like, well, they're gonna tech away. It's like, well, what are you gonna do out of the tech away? You're like, dash attack, you know. So like at these later percents, the dash attack is definitely like better. Okay, and then you get the kill. Okay, yeah. Ah, no. So if this had been a boost grab, it would have been so good. And I still, honestly, okay. So if you really want to know what I would have done here, because I'm mean. I would have hit him with these needles, noticed that these needles hit, and then wave dash to ledge. Just because it feels bad for them. They're down 2 stocks to 4, they get needled, they're like, oh, well, at least I'll get my revenge, and then Sheik is on ledge, and you Shino stall like twice, and then you ledge dash up, and they have to back off, you know? Like, those sort of like, I got you, but you can't get, like, no tag backs, you know, like, stuff like that, like, it's really gonna, like, irritate them, which is good. And then also, yeah, you could have just gotten this person if you had a boost grabbed here. Dash attack does not work at low percent, at all. Yeah, really bad.
It's like a bad habit.
Yeah.
It's because I know, like, dash attack is the fun button. It's like, ooh, they get popped up. Time for fun.
Not the fun button at this percent, though.
Yeah, that's true.
No, like, the idea of dash attack is the fun button is great. once, you know, it's relevant, but it's just not relevant here. Oh, I like this. This is actually...
That was your advice, actually.
This was what?
That was your advice. You had
okay, because I was like, holy moly, like he's doing. You did the stock opener dash forward crouch into up tilt. I was like, that's like the thing I tell everybody is the best possible thing here. Like,
yeah, that was a video you did with a Falco that you were like, hey, if you're coming back from the Angel platform and you're fighting Falco, I think the best thing you should do is just waltz around and use your invincibility to get an up tilt, because like if you get it, it's a free grab.
Yeah, I think, but you did like, you just did the exact perfect spacing and everything against Fox here, and I'm just surprised from watching the rest of the video. Like, you're just randomly like a top 10 player for these like 3 seconds. So, great job, you got the up tilt into a grab. I'm just like, wow, you did it perfectly, good job. This is not a huge deal, obviously you're going to get hit by this, but when you like whiff and Fox is going to drill and you both know you're going to get drilled, you got to go nuts on the control stick. Like
SDIing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sheik is so skinny, she pops out really easily, so you just need to read his drift. Like, is this more of a forward drift or a backwards drift? And if it's more of a forward drift like this, if you just go like... You just tap left over and over. Like, some people do, like, the quarter circle-y thing. I don't like that as much because it wears...
In this case, when I do the SDI, am I doing the ASDI down with the C-stick and then doing the SDI with...
No, ASDI down is irrelevant here. It does nothing.
Okay.
ASDI down doesn't help against drill at all. Just literally, pure control stick, just, like, pick a direction based on what you think his drift will be, and just, like... Either do the, you know, like the wank DI or like tap DI as fast as you can, and you will get out a massive % of the time. You can also hold C-stick to like add to the ASDI, but like I don't. I think it's kind of hard. I think maybe that's why like the wiggle DI is better, because you're always ASDIing. I'm not really sure, but honestly, a lot of times even if you just read the DI. Or sorry, not read the DI, read the drift. If you read Fox's drift and then you ASDI the opposite direction, just literally hold. Like, if you just held left here, you might literally slip out and get a free grab.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And that happens a lot. A lot. Fox's drill is somewhat inconsistent against Sheik if she has good defense. And this is sort of like how you build up this matchup, is you're like, man, Fox drill is really annoying. And you're like, but... sometimes I can get out of it and grab him. And then you're like, oh, Fox Nair is super annoying. And you're like, but sometimes I can CC it and grab him. You know, and you start building up these defenses against Fox's various tools. You know, you get better at DIing and the up throw, and then SDIing out of his up air. And you build up this, like, defensive/reversal toolkit. And then along with, like, crouching and stuff like that, it just makes Sheik really miserable for Fox to hit. And that makes it a lot easier to, you know, start threatening needles. And they're like, oh, I can't hit Sheik. But when I play passive, she starts charging needles. And then I get full needle stacked. And I want to jump off a building. You know, like, that's kind of like what you want to start moving towards. Okay, good. I like the back air into forward tilt there. Okay. Why? Why dash attack? Dash attack's bad. The best thing you can do here is dash forward, backflip, short hop. That is like definitely the best pressure that exists here.
Dash forward, backflip, short hop, backflip?
Short hop, backflip, forward air. I might have misspoken. My bad. Dash forward, short hop, backflip, forward air. And you can space the forward air on a shield. It's really, really, really crazy good. Huh?
Just to clarify, because you asked me earlier, and I just wanted to make sure. The reason Sheik's backer is like a little bit broken is because she kind of like pancakes away, and like she's hard to hit in her backflip. Or is it something else? Because I thought it was, I don't know. It just every time I use the backflip, I'm like, wow, this looks so cool, and for some reason it always works.
Yeah, it's because if you dash in and you neutral jump here, like basically the backflip gets rid of your ground momentum. And she sort of does this weird little flip that's hard to hit, you know? So, okay, after we finish this one game, I'm going to go into Dolphin really quick and just... I'm going to write it down, but I need to show you this pattern really quick. Let's see... Sheik back flip fair on shield. Okay. Because Sheik's shield pressure is like a whole new thing. So yeah, like right here when you get hit, or like, I guess it was awkward because you didn't get hit. But then don't jump. Like basically your goal here should not be to jump. Your goal should be, I'm going to SDI the up air really, really hard. And then if they miss, you're just like, oh, nice, get back down to the ground.
Yeah. Okay.
Even this double jump is kind of scary. I can understand why you did it, but it's a little scary.
Yeah,
okay.
when I'm scared against Fox, I double jump, which is I guess a habit I should stop.
Yeah, it's just you end up in like if you're at like at this percent, like let's say you do this double jump right here, and then you come down and he up tilts you, you're dead.
Yeah.
Like you lost your whole stock. Whereas like if you're a little bit more conservative here and you don't immediately double jump and you just have to stay composed and you let him hit you with like a nair or something here, you go off, let's say you hold out here, he nairs you, you go off stage a little bit, but you still have your double jump, you might get a recovery. Like you're still in a really awful spot here, you know? But your best option here is to not to double jump. You're gonna end up getting messed up for that a lot of times. Okay, good. Oh wow, that was okay. Okay. Nice. Okay. I know you tried to forward tilt, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice, dude, so good. This was I actually like this. So it's like this double jump is kind of okay just because he hard committed over on this side. Like this is still probably not the greatest sequence ever. But your goals for this sequence and what you did out of it with this charge into grab is really good. So I'll take it. And then yeah, he doesn't do the ambiguous DI, and so you get another tech chase. And these tech chases, I just look at these tech chases super differently from like the later tech chases. Like I just look at these as like, these are my damage building tech chases. These replace needles and like one-off aerials, you know? So you're getting those. Oh, that is kind of a cool option. I didn't really expect that.
I was trying to practice. I was like, ooh, if you
yeah,
Diaz
no,
around,
I like that.
Poof. And then I screwed up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so right here you were just too late to needle. The right answer here was to backflip into either you dash away and you just jump up and back air this, or you do wave dash back, or not wave dash back, this double jump back. You can do this double jump back, and then just keep drifting back and do this low fair. You've probably seen J-Mook do
yeah,
the low
fair. I was about to mention, like, I've seen J-Mook do that, and like that's what I was trying to do, but then like it's that whole thing, like I'm going too fast with middle, I'm like, I full hopped. Ooh,
yeah. No, it's hard. It's hard. If you already know that the fair is a good option here, then we can just like move on from that. So.
Okay.
I actually think your general approach to this is pretty good. It's a lot better than most of the time when I see Sheiks playing this matchup. At like the direction you're taking from it.
It was significantly worse 2 weeks ago, and then Gibbs was like, "Hey, Fiction has lessons. You should watch them." I'm like,
okay, nice. Yeah, so your plan and like your direction here is really good. Your execution is definitely like your weakest aspect. Like specifically hitting your tech chases where like
that double jump right there. Can you go back? Yeah. Because you told me like don't double jump. Usually try to save, but was that double jump like at least like?
Yeah, let's go back a little.
Because he was threatening with up air, and I was like, oh no, get out.
Okay, how did you die here?
Up
the dash attack up smash. Right. Okay, so let's just resume right here. Oh, it wasn't dash attack. It was just up smash.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That was supposed to be a grab, and then I was like, whoa, I went that way.
So you're talking about this one out of this up air?
No, it's the next one.
Okay, got it.
He gets me at some point. It's on the right side. We just passed by it.
Oh, we passed by it?
Right after.
What?
No. It'll be right after this.
Oh, okay. I was like, I didn't see a double jump. Like, okay.
This one right here coming up.
Yeah. You kind of had to. Like,
okay.
You sort of had to. I think there's probably... like you might be able to avoid this with like drift or something like that, but like I wouldn't fault you for this at all. So I think fine, and then you air dodged and got back down. Like, yeah, you're good. Like, you don't want to do the double jump, but you were in a spot where it's like you have no options. If you don't double jump, you die, and it's like, well, you had to double jump because it's better than not dying. Like, it takes away your options, but like the only reason you don't want to double jump is you don't want to die at a lower percent than you would normally die. Like, you want all of Fox's kills on you to be up smash at like 100 or whatever. Like, you don't want to get killed at like 40 because you accidentally, you know, he up aired early and you double jumped into the up air and then he just does back air and then, you know, like takes your stock really early. Or even like, you know, just combos you hard enough that you go from like 0 to 100 and die, you know, because then he combos you off at 70 and here, and it's like, so you just want to like keep your resources as best you can, but when you're in a situation where you have to use those resources, then use them, you know? Yeah, so I want to see, do you know what foxtrotting is?
Oh, you mean the face roll grab that you talked about?
Yeah, but just foxtrotting in general. Like, do you know what foxtrotting is?
Yeah, just like just flick like I'm assuming it's the same thing as the foxtrot in Ultimate, where you just, you know, you don't commit to, like, you just do the initial dash.
Yeah, so it's exactly. So it's you just do the initial dash, but you don't want to let go immediately because it kind of like in Melee, if you let go in the middle of your dash, you'll kind of go like less far. So you want to let go before your run starts. So let me pull it up. So, and maybe it's not true for Sheik. I'm pretty sure it is though. So like if I do this, see how it's kind of short?
Yeah.
That's like the instant flick. Whereas this is the same thing but further because I let go. Oops. I let go right before dash starts.
That's the one that I thought, like, I'm scared of that one because it's like, oh no, I'm in the run. The run, like the lag at the very end.
Yeah, you don't want to be in that. You want to let go before her run starts. So like, let me see how many frames it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Looks like maybe it's 11, like kind of like Fox. I don't know the exact number, but basically you want to tap forward. It's the same tap, but just don't do like one frame taps like this. Like, don't do it like you're doing like a pivot, you know? Like, don't do it like you're doing that. Do it like you're dashing for a second, but just for a little second. And so it gives you these like spots where you get like that, and it's nice because you can mix up the timing. Where like this is that face roll grab, you know, I always talk about, where like you can do this. Oops, you can go like this, and so basically it lets you go further. Because if I try to dash dance, I can't get this dash dance at this spacing. Like, I can't because her dash is too short. But if I do the foxtrot, I can get these long dash dances that like otherwise she can't really do just by foxtrotting. Whereas like you know,
that entire zone she threatens with boost grab.
Yeah, and then it's like boom, and it's like it's even bigger than that. Like her threat on boost grab is absolutely massive. Let me get the fighter collision on. Like, boost grab is like it goes like in front of her, you know, behind her, like. Oops, one sec. Oops. Yeah, like, look at that. Like, this thing is giant, and it stays out her, like, for, like, her entire, like, move thing here for a couple frames, so she just, like, super boosts and covers it. Like, literally, I'll get Fox from, like, not quite there, but, like, here? Oh, so close.
Very close, yeah.
And you want to make sure to do the frame 3 one, because if you, there's, like, multiple different ones, and if you do the... If you do the instant one, it's like not as good, whereas like the frame 3 one is like right before the dash attack really starts, and you get this super long boost like that, where it's like, dude, that's so far, right? Like, that's crazy. And so if you're using like normal dash dance and you mix it up with the foxtrot, it gives Sheik like a way better, just ground movement in general against Fox. And if you mess up and you go too far, crouch, and then just start it again. So if I'm like doing this, I can just crouch, and then I can just start it again out of the crouch.
Yeah, this is really awesome. I'll definitely practice this. I know we're close to out of time, so I just had 3 really quick questions I wanted to ask before I let you go. One is, damn it, I forgot. Hold on a second.
I have 3 very critical, important questions that I forgot.
Okay, the first one is, in terms of execution, I am using Uncle Punch and practicing and all that, but if you gave me like a hierarchy of like what I should practice first, like let's say top 3 things, what in order would you recommend?
Short hop, tech chase, boost grab.
Short hop, tech chase, boost grab. Okay, got it.
And there's not even necessarily like a priority to those. They are all 3 of them incredibly, like, you can't, like, if you take any of those away, your Sheik gets way worse. So like the fact that you don't really have all 3 super down is like, oh wait, foxtrot. Add the foxtrot on there for like the 4th one.
Yeah.
Those 4 things are super important.
No, I had it in my brain and now it just left.
Okay,
it was
really quick. While you think of that?
the backflip.
Yeah. So this is why the backflip is so good. Is like I can run in and then just do backflip, and I'm like pretty safe from anything Fox is gonna do, and I get kind of like a safe pressure. And so like really good Sheiks will kind of do this thing where they go like, sorry, I don't have Sheik tech skills. They go kind of like that. And like you can just space around, like if he grabs or shine out his shields or something, oops, like that. It's like it's the easiest punish on earth, and it just completely avoids, like, I'm pretty sure I can't even really do it right now because
it's scary to me because like when do I ever see a Fox in shield and like I'm conscious enough to be like, oh, he's defensive, I can do the fair thing.
It's because you don't have these other parts built up. As you get better at comboing Fox, let's say he's at 50 right here, he doesn't want to get forward tilted into insta-murdered, you know? Like, he's gonna like try to shield to avoid that. And so it's like right now, you probably don't have a lot of experience with Fox shielding because they're just like, yeah, you know, and it's kind of like, yeah, you just need to get way better at like I said, the foxtrot, the short hop, the boost grab, and like include in the short hop like the backflip short hop. Very important. So it's like short hopping, boost grab, foxtrot, tech chase. The tech chase is like basically the short hop and the boost grab and the foxtrot. Did I say it twice? That's the same thing. Whatever. Everything except for the tech chase is like neutral, and then the tech chase is like the brutal punish. So like the tech chase is what's gonna win you the most matches by getting out of the way first, but they're literally all critical. So I would just say put some time into all of them.
Okay,
but
sounds good.
Generally, the approach you're taking with the back air wall and stuff is good. Remember not to dash attack at the low percent, you know. And don't feel bad when people get mad at you for playing, you know, right. Like you're just playing the game well.
Small little tangent,
yes, go for it.
Small little tangent on this isn't a question, but just a small observation.
Yeah,
I know
no rush.
I tried to apply the same back air thing to Falcon, and for some reason it feels like it works on Falcon too. At least on these low level, like on these unranked things, where just like back air walling Falcon feels like it's working. It probably does not work all the time, but at least I was like, oh, this is actually working. It's kind of funny.
Yeah,
so I thought...
it does pretty much walling however you want to against Falcon works as Sheik.
Awesome.
So like, yeah, no, the back air thing, yeah, I'm pretty sure it works really well.
And then the last question I had, this one's really off topic, but
yeah, sure.
Against Samus, Esam told me and told Gibbs a while ago, and I've been trying to use this principle, but I just wanted to verify with you. He told me basically if you just stay on the ledge, or not on the ledge, on the platform, on any platform stage, and you just like back air Samus while she's trying to get up from ledge, she cannot do anything. And you just kind of auto win, sort of in a way. And like sometimes that's worked for me, sometimes it hasn't. Do you feel like that's something you would corroborate with that, like just back airing Samus when she tries to get off the ledge and she can't do anything?
I'm pretty sure they can aerial interrupt down smash. Like I'm pretty sure they can do this. Like I'm pretty sure they can do. Wait, I'm bad at it. Let me get it. Like that, like where they get this up air. Oops. Let me get it one second. That.
Oh god.
And they can do that like invincibly. So like you probably don't want to super disrespect them, but like that's just like a general rule is kind of like just let people get up from the edge. And like kind of pressure, but you know, if they start doing their ledge refresh and you can tell that they're gearing up for their like super good ledge option that they practice all day, you're better off letting them do it. You will miss opportunities against bad players, but you'll avoid making the bad habit of disrespecting the ledge against good players. So
it's not so much trying to disrespect the ledge, it's more just like the advice I got was like, well, your backer is humongous and like she has a hard time getting off the ledge, so like it's not the only thing you should do, but like it's a very good pressure tool because she has like her and Peach have trouble getting off the ledge, so like you can just pressure with back air as like your main pressure tool and then you can mix it up on that front.
I'm sure it's pretty good. I don't know enough to tell you like my exact opinion on it. I just generally I try to hit Samus's, like a lot of times basically if Samus is gonna go for this aerial interrupt, she has to do a bunch of like, she has to do some refreshes, like they're getting ready to do it, you know? And like, so when they're doing this, you can like try to needle them out of it or whatever, and then I just usually back off. Like, just trying to hit your opponent coming up from the ledge is a bad idea across the entirety of Melee. And it's better to just assume that your opponent can get off the ledge and fight them right after they get off the ledge and their invincibility runs out, than to be like, I can just hit this character when they get off the ledge. Like, I honestly, like, I really just don't care about these situations where, like, oh, but if the Samus or the Peach is, like, kind of bad at getting off the ledge and I can really pressure hard with this back air, it's like, it's just not, it's not the most relevant thing to, like, the game. And like getting better. I don't think that like it's probably pretty good. Like just kind of like any character that's bad at getting off the ledge, you can kind of disrespect them a little bit. And by disrespect, I know you're saying it's not disrespect, but by disrespect, I just mean this character has invincible attacks from the ledge, and I'm throwing out hitboxes to be like, I sure hope you're not invincible. And that's why I say disrespect, not that you're like BMing them or something like that.
Okay, I get what you mean now.
Just that, like, so many people, and I always joke about this, that, like, no one below top 20 believes in ledge dashes. I used to say this years ago, it might not be 100% exactly the same now, but, like, so many people are just like, well, every time my friend goes to ledge, he ledge dashes, and I just hit him for it. But then I play good players, and they ledge dash, and they hit me, and it's like, yeah, you if you look at the best players, like, I would watch Duck Samus. Go back and watch his VODs against Sheik and see what the Sheiks do against him when he's getting off the ledge and see if the back air thing works. And if it does, then do it.
Okay. I mean, well, Duck hasn't played in a while, has he?
Doesn't matter. It's Sheik Samus, dude. What changed?
Oh, yeah, that is true.
The Samus meta has moved precisely 1 centimeter since Duck stopped playing the character. So it's not really a huge deal, and Sheik's definitely, like, Sheik back airing Samus getting off ledge has not changed. You know, there's been no meta advancements in that area.
Okay. All right. Well, this has been awesome, Fiction. Thank you so much.
Dude,
I really appreciate it.
Great lesson. I had a good time talking to you. If you get confused or you have like a clip or something where you're like, I tried to take your advice and I got confused in this spot, feel free to send it to me, or any extra questions. I don't mind responding. So.
Thanks a lot, man.
All right, man. Have a good one. Peace.
You too.